Hello, hello, and welcome back to the channel. Okay, you guys, today we're going back inside the dressing room, and the dressing room we're trying today is Good American. Good American, a denim company founded by Khloe Kardashian, and not the first time that we're trying Good American, but the first time that we've gone to a Good American in person. So if you guys watched Vlogmas in July, which was my little July vlogging experiment, then you'll know that I did a Good American try on. I rented a bunch of pieces from Good American, and I had a pretty good first impression of them from the pieces that I rented online. In that video, I said that I knew there were a couple of brick and mortar locations in Los Angeles, and then if I found one, like, would you guys be interested in seeing me go try it? Even though you've already seen me try on the clothes, and there was an overwhelming response to say yes. So if you want more information about Good American, you can go check out my first try on video. This video is more about what the in-store experience was like, which was interesting. I know there's a couple of stores. I went to one in a mall in the Valley of Los Angeles. I will say this about my experience. It was a really small store. I went in the middle of the day on a weekday. There was nobody else in the store, and there was 2 employees, and those employees were on me. They were on top of me. I mean, they were really sweet, really nice, very helpful. They asked me lots of questions. Almost kind of reminded me of what it was like to shop at Aritzia. If you guys watched my Aritzia video, where I almost felt like I had a personal shopper like following me around the whole time, which in general, as an extrovert, is something that I kind of like. But when I'm filming these videos, I like to be left alone unless I can get information out of the employees. Like for you guys, like I mostly like to be left alone because I feel very awkward knowing that I'm gonna be in the dressing room for a long time filming. But what can you do? I was the only one in there, and they were trying to be helpful. So it was actually really quite nice, and they were very sweet, and they asked me all kinds of questions about, you know, what clothes I tried on in the past, what I like, what I was looking for, blah, blah, blah. And I just kept it vague. I was like, well, I'm not looking for anything. I just want to try stuff on for fun. And they were pretty cool about it. I think they were bored, honestly. It's the middle of the day and no one was there. The store was really small. It was like in this like line of very small stores, extremely narrow, very short. There was not that much there, but they did tell me, they were like, anything that you see that you like, we have tons more sizes in the back, which I also don't like for the purposes of this video, but it's fine in general. But like, it's kind of like a Free People thing where they have like 3 or 4 pieces on the floor, and then if you like it and they don't have your size, they'll have it in the back. That was definitely the case. They did have, obviously, the focus was on jeans. There was an entire wall of jeans. And I decided to try on just the ones that kind of called to me, the ones that I thought looked cute. They had a huge size. I mean, that's kind of Good American's whole thing, right? There's supposed to be jeans that fit like all different kinds of bodies, so there was tons of sizes available. And they told me that if I didn't see my size, they definitely had it in the back. But honestly, even outside of the jeans, I thought the other stuff they had in the store was really cute, so I picked up a couple tops, and yeah, I think that goes for my store experience. Then I said, oh, I want to try it on. They led me to the back to a dressing room, which was the craziest dressing room I've ever seen. It was like all blue. Like the ceiling was blue, the walls were blue, the floor was blue, and it was like this very bright blue. And also, and this is neither here nor there, this is nothing really to do with like Good American as a brand, but it was just my personal experience. There was no air conditioning, and we're in the middle of a heat wave in Los Angeles, or we were when I filmed it. So I was sweating my fucking balls off trying to get footage in the dressing room. But that being said, let's just talk about all of the things I tried on, because I tried on quite a bit. And some of it was very interesting, including like these jeans that are supposed to fit everybody. We'll get into them. Okay, the first thing I tried on was this denim shirt jumpsuit. It was in the size large. It was $269, made of 82% cotton and 18% lyocell. So the thing is, while I was having one of my lengthy conversations with the store employees, I told them about the other clothes that I had tried on from Good American for my rental subscription, including my favorite thing, which was that jumpsuit that I had tried on. So there was no jumpsuits out on the floor, but this girl heard me say that. She goes, oh, we have a jumpsuit in the back. Maybe you'd like to try it on. And I said, sure. So she brought this to me right when I got to the dressing room. So I didn't pick this out on my own, but what an interesting item of clothing. Looking at it on the hanger, I thought I was going to hate this. So imagine my surprise when it ended up being really fucking cute. The jeans fit well. This was a size large. Like, maybe they were a smidge tighter than I would have liked, and maybe I would have preferred an XL, but the shirt, I think it's meant to be oversized in general, but also I'm more of like a small medium on the top in life, so a large was already gonna be big, plus it was oversized. So if I had sized up to an XL, the jeans would have fit maybe my more preferred, like not so, but the shirt would have been way too fucking like clown shirt big. That being said, the large was not uncomfortable enough that I couldn't wear it, like it fit fine. And it's such a random item of clothing, but I don't have anything too negative to say about it, except that it's obviously very expensive, but pricing wise, it's kind of on par with the pricing of the rest of the store. So honestly, I'm just gonna say a note here. It's all really fucking expensive. Too expensive in many cases, period. I feel that way about everything. Blanket statement. Although I will say, for this item in particular, there was a lot of fabric and a lot of hardware involved, so I kind of got where some of the pricing was supposed to come from. The design of it was so weird, but kind of cool. Like a built-in Canadian tuxedo that I kind of liked. I couldn't get a read on it. I was so confused and I was sweating. Oh, I forgot to mention my sizes up at the top, so let me mention them here. These are my measurements. Usually a size 12, 14, large, extra large. It's kind of my vibe. Like I just mentioned, I'm smaller on the top. I'm pear-shaped, so I have a narrower rib cage and torso and wider hips. That being said, I think I tried pretty much mediums, larges on the top and 12s on the bottom for the whole video. Okay, the next thing I tried on was this maroon jumpsuit in a size large for $79, made of a nylon elastane blend. This jumpsuit was so soft. It was double lined, not see-through, a square neckline and a low back. It means I would have to go braless like I did here, or wear a sticky bra thing, which I actually just got one of those. So that's probably what I would wear if I owned this. The bottom was a thong. Obviously you can't see that, but just so you know. I imagine, and I feel like this would be a very seamless layering piece. I feel like you wouldn't get a lot of lines. It would be really nice. I cannot emphasize like how smooth and soft and like just luxurious the fabric felt. And I also loved the color. Frankly, I was tempted to buy this. It was $79, so I wasn't going to because I don't need it. But I did like it. I don't hardly have anything negative to say about it. I really liked this jumpsuit. I kept it on for a while. The first jeans I paired it with were these good leg straight jeans in a size 12. They're $169, made of 93% cotton, 5% polyester, and 2% elastane. These jeans fit really tight on my legs like a skinny jean, which I did not expect. I don't personally like that look. I just wasn't expecting that. They were really comfortable. They fit super well. They were comfy around my hips and waist, just like I expect the Good American jeans to fit me. I liked the distressing at the ankle. You know, there were things I liked visually about these, things I didn't like. The biggest thing I didn't like was that they had really shallow pockets. I mean, what the fuck? Come on, boo to shallow pockets. They fit really nice. I wasn't aesthetically into them and the pockets were shallow. So like, nah, on these jeans, you know? The next jeans I tried on with this jumpsuit were the Good 90s Relaxed jeans, also in a size 12 for $159, made of 75% regenerative cotton and 25% recycled cotton. So we do like to see some use of, you know, recycled materials. If they're gonna try, it's nice that they try, you know what I mean? I want you to keep in mind that these jeans are the exact same size as the jeans I just tried on, right? They're both size 12s. These jeans were so baggy and a little big on me. I maybe am like looking at the footage now thinking I could have sized down to a size 10, which is crazy considering the previous size 12s were way more on the fitted side. Also, these were a little long, but I will take this moment to mention that in my conversation with the store employees, they told me that any pair of jeans that I purchased came with free hemming. So like lengthwise, I think honestly maybe they're designed to be a little bit long because the store offers hemming, right? So I'm 5'8". I think I might have forgot to mention that. So I'm on the taller side for a woman, I think. But yeah, these were a little long, but I didn't even let that really be a consideration at the time because I knew that if I were to purchase them, which I was not planning on, but if I were to, they could be hemmed for free. Well, as part of the cost, the exorbitant cost of the jeans. I kind of like this style overall. Like I like it better than the previous pair, but these were still a little too baggy for me and I'm not like all the way into that trend. Okay, the next thing I tried on was this cream sweater in a size medium for $168, made of a viscose polyester nylon blend. This sweater is so fucking cute. This and the like maroon jumpsuit, I definitely could have purchased. Kind of funny, like the two things I was most tempted by at Good American were not jeans, but I really like this sweater. I like the cropped cut, the drop sleeves, the raised stitch lines. It was outrageously soft. Maybe the softest sweater that's ever been on my body. Honestly, I'm sitting here like, fuck, should I have just bought it? Like, I know I live in Southern California, but should I have just bought this fucking sweater because I really liked it? I might buy it online. I might wait for it to go on sale or buy it secondhand or something because it was so soft and so cute. I just loved all the little details, and if it was like $100 cheaper, I would have bought it then and there, no question. Like if it was the same price as the bodysuit, I would have bought this sweater, but it wasn't, so I didn't. Okay, so up until this point, I feel like I had a pretty reasonable experience. Then I was looking at the like wall of jeans in the store, and I asked the woman who literally was following me around, loved her, she was so sweet, but it was a lot of attention. And I was like, what does this always fit thing means? Because the jeans were kind of in sectors like petite and then, you know, regular. And then there was a whole segment called always fits. And I was like, what is always fits? Because I was looking at the price tag, not the price tag, the size tags. And I saw that it wasn't like size 8, 10, 12. It was like, well, I'll get to it in a second. She goes, oh, these are jeans that are meant to fit a range of up to 4 sizes. And in my mind, and even still now, I'm like, what is the point of that? I guess if you're like fluctuating, honestly, the point of that, I was thinking, wow, well, these would be interesting maternity jeans. But more than that, I just don't really quite know, unless you're like planning on splitting these jeans with your friends, like true like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants style. Like, why do you need, or I guess if you're losing weight, I guess there's a couple reasons why you could, you know, utilize a pair of jeans that spans 4 sizes, but in general, I thought it was kind of a weird concept. Also, I'm a size 12/14, and that's the cutoff. So there's a pair of jeans that go from size 6 to 12, that's one pair of jeans, and then 14 to 18, that's another pair of jeans. And I was like, well, I don't know which one I am because I'm right smack dab in the fucking middle. So I was very intrigued by this concept. I definitely have seen advertisements for this like on TikTok or Instagram, but I never, I guess, really like grasped onto what it actually meant or what these actually were. But I was very interested in trying these on, so I grabbed a pair in both 6 to 12 and 14 to 18 and tried them on for you guys here. First, I tried on the 14 to 18. So without further ado, these are the Always Fits Good Leg Straight Jeans. They're $159, made of a cotton polyester elastane blend, made of partially recycled material. I will point that out. The first pair I tried on were these size 14 to 18 pair, and these were obviously way too fucking big. If anything though, frankly, they fit, I would say like if I was gonna buy a pair, these would be the pair I would buy. I wouldn't buy the, you'll see, the other pair were too small. They were too big, they were too stretchy, they were too weird, but like if I were getting pregnant again, yeah, I would buy these. I definitely fit, I would say, even though they were too big, I probably definitely fit better into the 14 to 18 range. But in general, I think because there was so much stretch in the material, they were just really like, not only too big, but also unflattering, especially in the back. Like I just, okay. So that was that, and I put them on and I was like, well, they're too big, so I must be the other size. So then I put on the size 6 to 12. Well, let me tell you something. I'm way more closer to a size 14 than I am to a size 6. So this went about as I expected. It wasn't that these were too tight, like they fit, I could get them on, they zipped, I could sit in them, they were fine. It was just that they were tighter. I mean, I wouldn't purchase them, you know, they were tighter because they're supposed to fit. Like you're telling me that someone who's like a size 6 would also fit into these? Okay, but like why? You know what I mean? Why? Unless I had like a sibling who was a size 6 who wanted to split them because they're so motherfucking expensive. Like I'm like, okay, all right. Yeah, they fit, they're too tight. The other pair they fit, they're too big. Like I'm just not the right market for these jeans, I guess. I don't know. I didn't personally get it. I feel like there's something massive that I'm missing and my comments are gonna be flooded with like, Rachel, they're for this. And I'm like, oh, okay. But at this moment sitting here, I'm too ignorant. I don't know. What are these for? Tell me, you guys, because I don't understand. Overall, my experience in the store at Good American was way worse than my experience trying Good American on at home, which I thought was kind of interesting. Maybe it was just up to the items I picked. Maybe it was because I was getting a heat-induced headache from the non-air conditioned dressing room. Or maybe I don't know. It just was the day that I happened to go there. The mood I was in, whatever it was. But that being said, it was okay. The only things I was tempted to buy was that maroon jumpsuit and the sweater. Other than that, like I wasn't tempted to buy any of the jeans. Whereas when I tried a bunch of the jeans on here at home, I was tempted to keep a couple of pairs. I didn't, I haven't, and I won't. But Good American jeans definitely fit as advertised. They're curvy friendly. They have lots of sizes, lots of different styles. In between the 2 videos where I've tried things on, I'm definitely open to trying again with the brand. But you know, I wouldn't say they're like gonna be my like new go-to denim brand or anything. And the in-store experience was fun, but a little overwhelming. Maybe I'd go when it was busier. No, actually, I think if I wasn't filming, I would have really enjoyed it. That's for the truth. You know, you always have to put your biases on display here. I was biased because I wanted to be left alone, but normally I don't like being left alone. And so actually everyone was very friendly and sweet and kind. And I felt very bad being like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm so sorry, bye. And skedaddling out of there and then sitting under air conditioning for the next 30 minutes. I cannot explain to you how fucking hot it was in that room. Okay, anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you guys appreciated it. Are there any other brick and mortar stores that exist only in Los Angeles that maybe don't exist other places that you would want me to try out? I'm sure there are a bunch. I'm sure if I looked into it, I could find them. But if you guys know any in particular and there's overwhelming call for one, then I'd definitely like to go check it out. So let me know. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you oh so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.